Hello everybody, welcome back to another tutorial. Today we're going to talk about the phasing tool which was released with the 2.9 version. I mean, if you have used the Lumion phasing tool, it might quite familiar, but there are things that might highlight the DeFi render phasing tool as a premium version, because also you if you have used the 3ds Max or any other Maya or any other platform, how much time you will consume to use animations like this, because in here in DeFi render it's like the pre-templates. You can use a lot of pre-templates. Plus it will be pretty much easy because they have provided some kind of animations for your phasing tool, and it's quite handy. So you might get familiar with that. The prior to anything, what you have to do is, I mean, if you just go the workflow here, you can see there are a couple of things you have to install it, because if you are using SketchUp Live Sync or the 3ds Max or the Revit, you have only these things with related to the Live Sync. So here you have the Revit, because currently I'm using Revit and the SketchUp as well. So I'll show you how you can optimize when you're using Revit, and how you can utilize the live sync tool to have the phasing tool as well as SketchUp as well. So what you have to do is you have to update the latest version of the live sync option from here. If you want, just click download it, and then it will be downloaded to a folder, and you have to install it. So that's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So you have to do it. So once you have installed it, I'll show you it in Revit here. Here you have the DeFi render tool. So I'll prior to that, I'll just go to 3D view here. So there are a couple of options. You can have the DeFi phasing tools. In order to have the phasing tool work properly, you need to have a couple of things. The first thing is actually whatever things you want to animate. For example, like these benches or these some trees or any other things, you have to separate it from the main model. Because if you bundle it, if you combine all the model and send it to the DeFi, it's pretty hard. You will be not able to do the phasing tool, because in order to have the phasing tool, the item should be separated from the main model. I'll show you how you can do that. So this is the Revit interface here. Here I have the DeFi render add-on here, and here you have the option called the export and the separated. So once you have exported that, your whole model will be going to the as a DeFi file. But here you have separated option. So what you have to do is you have to click this separate button, and this menu will be appear. So but I'll use some of the okay, I'll use this one to separate it. So I'll just go to the DeFi render, and I'll just use the separated button here. And here you have some of the options here. Now what I'm gonna do is group material. There are a couple of things you need to do this, because if you need to these consistent colors, survey points, group material baskets, or any other things, so those things you have to do. But it's I'll not choose any of this. And what I'm going to do is I'll export selected category rather than going with the export selected family types, because or export select family instance. So that means two parameters from the Revit, instant parameter and the type parameter here. But I'll choose the export selected category. Once I click this one, it will be asked separate file location. So what you have to do is you have to type one thing and save it. So I have saved couple of things here at this moment. So I'll opt that one, and I'll again do some other things. So okay, we'll check. Okay, I'll export this one as well. I'll go separated and export selected category. Okay, it was not it was a not family, actually. It was okay. I'll choose this one. No worries. Go DeFi separate, and I'll make it so. So there are there will be some time to export this process, but if you have high-end machine, it will be very pretty easy, and it will be less time. So I'll wait a couple of seconds, and these are the things you have to do when you are when you want to have the phasing tool, because these things will be fully animated using the phasing tool. Now we'll just go to the SketchUp as well. I hope you're clear about the Revit thing. Now let's dig into Revit and the DeFi render syncing, and how you can do the phasing with related to the Revit. So now currently I'm viewing the Revit file here, some of the elements which we have sent it as a separate DeFi file in here. So I'll just go to the new project here. Okay. Okay, and now I'm gonna disable the terrain here. Now currently, if I just go here and go to the DeFi render here, now in SketchUp also you have the live sync option, but I have exported it as the SketchUp file into a separate SketchUp file, and then I imported it to the DeFi render. Similarly, you can do it in here as well, but I'm gonna use the live sync button here. You can see I'm gonna start the DeFi render here. Actually, I have already started, so it will ask for some pop up there. Since this file has a large amount of data, it might take some times. Okay, we'll wait a couple of seconds. Okay, now it's loading here. Okay, now you have placed it. Okay, I'll click the file button again. It is the model. Okay, so you can see the model here. Now, similarly, what we have done with the SketchUp and the DeFi syncing. Now I'm gonna import some files from the separate file which I have saved separately from the Revit. Here you have the tables here. I'll just import that one. Okay, it does comes with the some other elements as well. So I'm gonna ignore that one, and I'm gonna click this one. Okay. Now you can see some of the elements here. It doesn't matter where you're gonna place. You can sync the coordinates. So I'm gonna use that one, but yeah, I'll use these benches as well. Okay, now place whatever the place you want. Yeah, this is the place you want, and just go to the object here and select all these options and click this coordinate. Now you can see it has been placed according to the the coordinate system. You can see properly. There will be so much of things has been added. Okay, hope you're clear about it. Now it has been added everything in perfect way. Okay,